Hey everyone, today we'll be checking out the first day of the 2024 Oil Road season. Let's jump into the stats. It's a short ride day, being the first ride of the season, only 33 minutes. Normalized power was 306 and average speed was 27, so a bit of a scorcher. Check the rear cam. The group is coming around from their first neutral lap, and Bryce and I are merging into the peloton. From the gun, there was an attack, so not surprising at all. First day, people are psyched, and we have a really large group. That's normally how the first couple weeks go. We have a ton of participation, and everyone is excited to get back on their bike and get a little dicey. You could definitely feel some nerves in the group today. There's a lot of horsepower in this ride, and people, I forget sometimes that not everybody races their bike as much as our team does or as much as I do. So when we do these, fast group rides, people's cornering skills are kind of all over the place, and that's okay. You have guys out here that are veterans, and you have people out here just learning for the first time. If you just heard that in the rear cam, there was a flat tire, so a rider's dropping back right now, and look in the rear cam way back there, boom, a guy crosses wheels. He takes a bad line into the corner, just a bad arc into the corner, and he ends up kind of hurting himself and crosses wheels with a guy in front of him and goes down. So single rider crash and a flat tire all at the same time. You can see I'm pumping out some watts to kind of catch up to this front group to let them know that there's a crash and we're going to go neutral. But you look ahead, I'm like 15 riders deep right now trying to chase on, and I'm just burning watts to try and catch up to these guys. Skipping ahead later in the lap, and it's the same thing. It's like, okay, we came around, the crash was cleared. I didn't hear anybody say neutral anymore. We have 3 or 4 guys off the front right now, and I just burnt a match to try and bridge up to them. And as soon as we come around this corner, you'll see the back half of the group had called a neutral, and we start putting our hands up and slowing down, and we reset. So unfortunately, I wasted a couple matches there, like within the first 2 laps. A little unfortunate, but it's all good. We're just out here riding, trying to go fast with our buddies. So we're skipping ahead to the action now. We're 8 minutes in. So we've been just kind of following wheels. Everyone's just been kind of getting settled in to taking turn 4 and turn 1, which we're about to approach right now. Everyone's just getting settled into and getting comfortable with that. While we have a couple little gaps up in the front, there's like, you can see it starting to splinter up the road, and I'm just kind of following moves here and just seeing what happens. Putting out some decent numbers. This ride was fast. It's 30 minutes, so everyone has like fitness to last 30 minutes and like do really hard aggressive moves. Right here I can continue to pedal. Guys pull off to the left, I can continue to pedal and kind of try to leapfrog up to this main group. There's a 2 way up the road, 2 guys way up the road, and I want to be a part of that. Well, they slow up on the right, and then all of a sudden this cluster fans out right in front of me, and I was about to throw a bomb and just try and bridge up to these guys. Unfortunately, I had to slow down, had to keep it safe. Now I'm just kind of keeping the power on, coming around these riders, check the rear cam. A couple little gaps here and there opening up, but nothing too threatening. You can see the 2 riders off the front right there. I have a teammate in that group, and I would love to join him, hang out with him, but unfortunately the group is too fast behind us. We end up reabsorbing and everything gets reset. 14 minutes in, there's a guy that's a single flyer that's up the road, and we have slowly over these past couple minutes brought him back, and he's getting reabsorbed right now. I'm feeling a little feisty. I'm watching guys in front of me, watching their body language, and there's this hot fly rider directly in front of me in the yellow that starts to follow these group of riders in front of him. Put down some power, jump in line, catch the draft, and we're smoking down this downhill. Guys are starting to kind of just like fall in line and kind of just reset a little bit. People are thinking like, do I want to go on a move? Do I not? Check the rear cam right here. I got this niche rider on my right. He throws one. I give a quick up to the group. Ryan Joyce on my right in the all-black skin suit goes, and I was thinking like guys were going to be behind the niche rider, thinking like they were going to file in, but then I checked my shoulder and everyone's just hesitating. So I feel like I need to be in this move so we have a team presence. As a result, I have a gap that I have to close down. Extremely hard little, 10 to 15 second effort right here, trying to bridge up to these guys. And check the rear cam, we have a pretty good gap. So the group decided right there that they wanted to kind of reset and take it slow, and it helped us get a large gap. I'm still trying to close this thing down. It takes me the full straightaway, the front stretch, to do that. This one hurt. We're only halfway through the ride, and I'm already starting to feel my efforts are hurting a lot and stuff like that. I kind of just like play the game real quick and let the niche rider kind of slot in. I take a little bit of a break. He checks the shoulder, lets me know he's there. Ryan Joyce on the front, he does about an 8-second pull, 10-second pull, and he's out of there. So I learned real quick that like, all right, maybe the motivation or our group of riders isn't gonna be the one that's gonna stay away today. Even though the niche rider is very motivated in front of us. We're about to pass a couple lapped riders already, and we're kind of trying to navigate them. But if you check the rear cam, we still have a decent gap with the group. We're going 27, 26 up the hill, so we start to slow down just a little bit. It being the first day, people need to kind of suss out like how long they need to take their pulls. Everyone's trying to figure that out because it's the first day back. So in the coming weeks, I think people will start realizing, all right, maybe I should just take shorter pulls, and that way we can keep it harder. But check the rear cam, we are covered up. We get reabsorbed and we reset. Pushing ahead, just at 22 minutes in, we have two guys up the road. I'm following a move from my teammate right here on the right. Hot fly rider jumps in, a niche rider jumps in. I follow their wheel. Check the rear cam. Got a couple riders that are like on the fence about whether they want to close this thing down or jump on our train or not. We close the gap down to the couple riders in front of us. And now single file, it's getting a little strung out in the rear cam. We're keeping it fast. Coming through the right-hander of turn 4. And I'm dropping the wheel just a little bit. It gets a little dicey. Guys are like, I don't want to be on the front. And so everyone's just like dropping the parachute. And so we're all navigating through this group. It gets really fast through here. We're going 33 miles an hour. I want to say, like, other than the last lap, this was probably the fastest section of the race for me. So now we have a group of 4, 5, including the guy in the rear cam, going off the front right now. And guys are looking around. Guys are hesitating. We just caught the front, those 2 flyers, and this niche rider on the right goes, and I'm like, oh, I gotta be with that. As much as I don't want to follow this wheel, I'm hurting a little bit. I'm like, dang it, I have to make sure we have a presence up the road. And I know this niche rider is really dangerous. He has a great motor. He gets us going down the downhill, flicks me through. I oblige, do my effort right here. And again, like, this goes to me too, is I probably shouldn't have pulled so long on my effort right here. You can see up the road right here, we're about to come around some lap riders. We deal with them in the corner. It's lap riders. It's a little tough to kind of understand like where they need to be on the course. It's the first day. We're giving everybody a pass, but we're coming up on them really fast. And what this does is it kind of like allows the group to catch back up to us just a little bit. And it slows me down because I'm just not sure where they're gonna go, and I have to wait so long to yell at them just so they can hear me. Like if I yell at them like 10 yards back, 15 yards back, they might not hear me. Flick my elbow through. Niche rider pulls through, and he does a really hard surge right here, probably trying to drop me or just keep it fast. Either way, I'm like already kind of just like not into this move. So I quickly pull the pin, drop anchor, and let him go. All right, we're pushing ahead now. We are 2 laps to go. So I've been in the back kind of recovering with 5 to go, and the laps started trickling down. I realized, oh man, like guys are fresh. Like it's really hard to move back up to the group, and we come to 2 to go right here. And I'm like, man, alarm bells are going off. I was like, I'm way too far back. I'm using some watts to kind of leapfrog a couple guys and to try and find my way to like at least top 8 to try and protect my position for a sprint. But guys have, like there's a lot of folks that since it's such a short ride, that haven't even really touched the front. So they're like super fresh. They've just been hanging out in the draft. You know, they weren't being active in the ride, and that's okay. Like, everyone's got different priorities and how they want to interact and participate in the ride. But I realized this, and I'm like, oh no, like, I am kind of on my back, on the heel now, on the back foot. So there's a little bit of a surge right here going into turn 4, and everyone reacts to it. And since everyone's so fresh, like, people are all over this. And I was hoping to gain a couple spots coming into the turn 4 right here, and take this corner nice and chill, and then look to my right. I'm gonna get pushed out wide by a guy who just comes out of nowhere and kind of pushes me to the left. I go around the cone, I jump back in line. That's a big no-no for Ore Road. If you go outside the cones, you're kind of supposed to fall back to the rear of the group. I'm definitely going to catch some flack for this one when we post this one from the guys. But either way, it was going into 1 to go. I wasn't going to give up that position because a guy pushed me wide. Coming into turn 1 on the last lap, keeps the momentum up. I realize I'm way too far behind right here. Put down some power to leapfrog over Bryce and to get up to Nick. Some of the guys in the front are keeping it super fast. They're working on like lead out formations and stuff like that, and guys are just trying to fall in line and make sure they have a good draft. In the meantime, alarm bells are going off for me. I need to move up as fast as I can. Nick kind of comes over to the right and lightens up a little bit, lets me have that room. Now we have a little bit of a gap in front of me, and I'm like, oh no, I've got to close this down. So I put a little effort into this uphill. I see this gap going from right to left, and I shoot this gap right here. Super tight. Everyone's good in the rear cam. We're good to go. Now I have a gap. Coming into the final turn to the last lap. Check the guys on my right here. They check up their brakes for some reason, and they kind of waver to the left, and it has me grab brakes as well. Josh Looney does a perfect move. He comes underneath me because he gets to keep his momentum. He didn't have to check brakes. Comes around me. I'm like super bummed that I had to grab brakes into the last corner. Yeah, so we come across the line. I was like 10th or 12th or wherever to finish the ride. Little disappointing. Didn't get to unload a sprint right there. No harm, no foul. We're here to practice and have fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the first week of Ore Road 2024. We'll have more videos.